The Joe Rogan Experience.
So back to these conversations that you've had over these 35 years, the ones that you've recorded, what have you done with them? You're holding on to them?
I just keep them.
People get so mad at me because I tell everybody they should do a podcast. How mad do people get at me? They get mad at me, right? Because I think so many people can. But you definitely should.
Well, I should because I like doing this so much. I really am probably like you. I'm just super interested in people.
Yes. Well, curious.
I'm really curious.
Part of the title of your book.
Yeah. So a curious mind.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that, geez, I've done 35 years of these. At that time, I might have been 30, and my 4 kids, don't really know what I'm doing. I'm really spending a lot of time hustling to get Edward Teller to meet me. It took a year and a half, 2 years, or Daryl Gates. It was the craziest meeting of all time. Daryl Gates,
the LA
police chief.
Wow. Well, how was that the craziest one of all
time? I'll give it to you very quick. I'll give it
please.
to you. Okay, so I really thought this guy, he was, he's one of the most well-known and most accomplished police chiefs in America. I think there were 3 of them, and he was one of the 3 in a century. And then Daryl Gates, I knew was one of the creators, the fundamental creator of SWAT, which was bringing paramilitary tactics to the LA Police Department. He started out as a bright-eyed, strong-minded, clean-cut guy working for the police department, and because he was sharp, he was the driver to the police chief, which was Chief Parker. And then Chief Parker, the LA, there was a riot called the Watts riot, not the LA riots, but the Watts riot, and the police went in, and they were not qualified to be in that situation, and they kind of failed they felt they failed at it. And Daryl Gates was like by the chief's side the entire time, and he kind of vowed to himself, I'm not going to let that happen again. And when he had the opportunity, because he became later police chief, not much later, became police chief of Los Angeles Police Department, he instituted SWAT and other, paramilitary tactics and a mind discipline that was pretty, was like creating, like martial law, people would argue. And then that kind of produced an environment that I think many think, and I think myself, helped an environment that caused the LA riots, because there was a lot of inequity, I think, human inequity felt. I know I'm getting this kind of political, and you should tell me what your point of view, please.
On the LA riots?
Yeah.
Well, I moved here after that.
Okay.
So I wasn't here while that was going down.
Right. It was pretty intense.
Yeah. And the LA riots were a direct response to the Rodney King trial.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And yeah, that was a crazy time. I mean, the reaction to the video, the video was horrible, watching Rodney King getting beaten like that. Yeah. Then you also heard that they had been on a high-speed pursuit with him, and that there was more to that video. Like, that was the end of their altercation. Apparently there's much more physical altercation before that video, and maybe if someone saw the full thing, they would understand, well, okay, you're dealing with a wild person who's on PCP, and these cops are doing everything they can to detain him.
Yeah.
But there's a distrust of the police in these communities in the first place because they had seen so much police brutality.
Right.
So that reaction, that riot, was not just because of that one situation.
Yes.
It was an accumulation of different events and different interactions that people had had with abusive police officers.
It was a boiling pot. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then the whole Rampart unit, and there was so much corruption. There was a lot of shit going down during that time. So all that just... all of it exploded.
And so the thing about this story is that I was saying about I got a meeting with Daryl Gates. It was 10 months on the book. 10 months.
Wow.
And ironically, the day of my meeting with him was the day of the LA riots. So I thought, and it already had happened, 2,000 buildings on fire and everything. And my office gets a phone call from Daryl Gates' office confirming my meeting with him. I'm thinking, oh my God, Parker Center is under siege. It's like the whole city is under siege. He still wanted to keep the meeting. a meeting that was on the books for 10 months. And I thought, that's really crazy. So I went down. I had a guy drive me, and I went down, and they zigzagged through like a security clearance thing where no other cars could get through. That was really bizarre, like we see this now often. But they initiated this kind of maze that the car would go through. I get to the front door. A couple of police officers escort me in. They put me in a room. I joke. They didn't give me a cavity search, but just about everything. But, took my clothes off, did everything.
Did they really?
Yeah, I did.
Why did they think that you,
just a scrawny
guy
little
who
guy,
makes movies?
I don't know.
That you would go rogue.
I don't know. I know. There's no evidence of for sure.
That's crazy.
So, and then I got upstairs. And he is sitting so calmly. He'd already ordered 2 tuna fish sandwiches, very, very utilitarian, the sandwiches. And we had the potato chips, and he said, "You want an iced tea?" I couldn't even swallow. I couldn't eat my food because I was so shocked by the whole thing that he had so much. He was impervious to everything that was going down, and the city council was on his TV and on the TV out there, and guys, police officers were running in, go, "Chief, you're on TV right now," and they're yelling. And he says to me and to them, "This is nothing. They'll never get me out of here." He had so much hubris. It was amazing. And I thought, and he's so calm about it. And of course, they did get him out. I think the next day, actually, because the city council was had very liberal guys on that board, people on that board rather, and it's a long, insane story. But I had my lunch meeting.
How long was the meeting?
Normal, like an hour. It was a full hour.
So you just have lunch and just pick his brain and
talk
to
just
him?
Have lunch and ask questions, and try to not be nervous or upset about what's going on in the environment, and the TV's flashing, like archival footage that they'd shot days before, or the day of, and buildings on fire, and the Korean shop market, somebody getting killed, and all that stuff they were showing on television. And he was just kind of matter of fact, like, it's just what's going down. It'll just pass.
Wow.
I know. It was crazy.
Well, it sounds like someone designed for the job.
So I couldn't record that one.
Yeah, obviously.